Hello, everybody. So, Aisha Stearns here, your tax professional. It has been a minute since I have went live, but here I am. So you know me, I'm gonna be short and sweet. I'm gonna get to the point. And what we're gonna be talking about is records to keep and records to shred. So I got my notes here that I'm gonna follow, so I make sure that I don't get off of topic. So, and I have this presentation all queued up and all that good stuff. So, hope you like that too. But, anywho, so we're going to talk about records, what to keep and what to shred, right? So, there are some records that you need to keep. And then there are some records that you just need to shred. So, like that TV show Hoarders, right? So we don't want you to be a hoarder. We want you to get rid of the paperwork in which that you don't need, because there are some people out there that just be having papers from the 90s. Okay, we in 2024. What we doing? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna be talking about again what to keep and what to shred. All right. So your pay stubs. So pay stubs is something that you should save up for a year, right? Save up meaning you should save them. Even though now we're in this day and age to where everything is electronic, like my 9 to 5 that I still have is that everything is done electronically. Now, you do have some people that are still in the dinosaur age that really gets the physical check stub. If that's you, I would say keep those check stubs for about a year. I would say that sometimes, like if you are going, I guess, to like lease an apartment or whatever the case may be, they want to see some check stubs or pay stubs, whatever the case may be, right? So it's a good rule of thumb, as they say, to where you can save these for at least a year. If it's electronically, it's going to be there, right? But if you're the paper type of person, at least save those up to a year. I don't know who else really asks for check stubs, but I don't even know if mortgage people, like if you get in a house, do they ask for check stubs? I know they ask for your tax return. I know that for sure. But check stubs, I'm not sure. I should know, but I don't know. So, anywho, we're going to save these up for a year. All right. Check stubs, you're going to keep those for a year. So this next one is investments, right? So keep investment records for as long as you own the investment, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario. Like long time ago, I think this was back in 2019. Me and my husband had sold our first home, and so even though I still got the records of that, but anywho, we had sold our first home. Something like that, you would keep. And I would say keep it for at least a year or two. That's a good threshold to use. As long as you have it, keep the records. But once you don't have this particular investment, there's really no reason why you still need the records. If you're the type of person that you just want to keep it and hoard it, whatever the case may be, have your pleasure. But if you like me, who don't like a lot of clutter, despises clutter and like things just to be clean, just only keep those investments if you still have them. If you don't have them anymore, you can just go ahead and shred it. Okay, shred it after a year. Also, when it comes to your taxes, you're still going to want to keep those records because not sure if you're going to write particular stuff off, or just in case you get audited, whether it's a audit that is supposed to happen, or if it's a audit that you get randomly selected to be audited. That stuff happens too. So just make sure you just have those records on file, because that's your proof. So this next one that you're going to keep is your tax returns. I'm going to say a minimum of 4 years, but it's actually 3 years. I like to, go over a little bit, because when it comes to the I, to the R, to the S, they audit back 3 years. Can they go back further than that? Probably so, but more than likely it's 3 years. So you know that you can go back 3 years when it comes to filing your taxes. You can go back 3 years, right? So it's a good way to keep records with your tax returns, which is 3 years. I say 4, just to be on the safe side, but 3 years is a good number. So if you got a tax return that's in 2000 and we in 2004, you can go ahead and just get rid of that. That was like 24 years ago. So yeah, minimum 4 years. Also, you're going to want to keep record when it comes to like if you get work around the house, like if somebody, like if you got a nanny, or what is it, a gardener, or someone who does your lawn, you're going to want to keep records of that, because you can write those things off. I'm not going to reveal too much, because some things you just got to pay for, but at the same time, keep those records, because you can actually write those particular things off. So again, like if you got a nanny, if you got like a housekeeper, a domestic help, or a gardener, or a lawn person, go ahead and keep those receipts. Like sometimes y'all just be paying them cash. Like make a record of that stuff, and you can like deduct taxes from that. But I'm gonna shut up because I'm probably saying too much. But just keep records. Keep records of that stuff. It's gonna help you out in the long run. Another thing to keep is mortgage records. These are worth saving, right? So if you just closed on a home, or even your record payments, even the record payments, I know that these are kept online as well. But also with your closing, save your closing records. Those are the most important records. How long should you save them? I say save them until you sell the house, or you don't have the investment anymore. That's what I say. But keep those records. Those are worth saving. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into records that you need to just shred it, okay? So your bills, put your bills in the shredder. So I suggest, or I advise for you to buy a shredder. You can go to Walmart, Target, Home Depot do shredders? They might. I don't know. But anywho, buy a shredder, right? Because when it comes to your bills, even though bills are electronic too, but you got some people that get stuff in the mail. I know sometimes with bills, like I don't know where you would go, and they ask for like a copy of like a utility bill. Like for instance, the taxes that I do for head of household, we ask for a utility bill, right? So even though you can get this offline, but if you have the physical bill, that's fine, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to your bills, because sometimes your bills be having like private information on there, and you really don't want nobody in your business, because people do dig in the trash, even though that's nasty. But people do dig in the trash. And so you just don't want them all up in your business. So when it comes to your bills, you pay it, you shred it, okay? Now, the next thing is junk mail. We all don't like that freaking junk mail. But when it comes to junk mail and your name is on the junk mail, so we have junk mail that says to the resident, but it ain't got your name. And then we have junk mail that says your name. Make sure you shred that particular junk mail. And then also when y'all get them pre-approved credit card applications and y'all ain't gonna do nothing with it, shred that as well. Because again, we got people who like to dig in the trash, okay? And they like to get them pre-approved credit cards and get approved with the credit cards and this in your name, and then you got to go through identity theft and all that horrible stuff. So we don't want you to go through all that, right? We want you to make sure that you're protecting your identity. The next thing is unless needed for tax purposes, avoid saving receipts. So for my people who just love to save receipts, that's from 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. There's no purpose of saving these receipts, right? Only if it's for tax purpose. If it's for tax purposes, save the receipt. But if it's not for tax purposes, if you know you're not going to return it, go ahead and just dispose of the receipt. Like for instance, let's see, you went to the grocery store. Why you still got the receipt that you went to the grocery store like a year ago? You don't need that stuff. Like, keep it moving, shred that stuff. And there is also some sensitive information on those receipts as well. Sometimes they be printing out your name and all that stuff. So go ahead and just dispose of those receipts. Again, if it's like a big purchase, I'll save those for like a year. Like if you go to like Rooms to Go, whatever the case may be, I'll save them receipts for like a year or two, or as long as I own the property or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to receipts, like you going to TJ Maxx or whatever the case may be, and the deadline for the return policy is exhausted, just go ahead and throw that away. And that is it. See, I told you I was going to be quick. I do not like to be long. So again, we're going to shred and we're going to keep. So let's do a recap. What we're going to keep? We're going to keep our pay stubs for about a year. We're going to keep our investments as long as we own them. Then over a year, like once we don't own it no more, keep it for about a year and then shred it. We're going to keep our tax returns for about 4 years. Really, it's 3, but go ahead and keep it for about 4 years just in case the IRS wants to audit. We're going to keep our mortgage records. And what we're going to shred? We're going to shred our bills. We're going to pay them and shred them. We're going to shred our junk mail. And then we're going to shred them pre-approved credit cards so that nobody do no identity theft. And then we're going to shred receipts that we don't longer need in our lives. If it's for tax purposes, we're going to keep it. But if it's not for tax purposes, we're going to shred it, okay? So hope y'all like the presentation and everything. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, but I want you to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff to my platforms, channels, and I'll see y'all next time, all right? So make sure that you're either keeping it or you're shredding it, all right? Take care. Bye.